Hi, Stefan Svartling here from Svartling Network. This is the first episode in a new video show from me. It's more like a podcast where I'm talking about Apple stuff and show you apps and so on. I hope this episode will be interesting enough, so I will continue doing it because I think it could be great. In this first episode I will talk about how I find news to do videos about and also blog about and so on, which apps I use to find news and so on, and also why and how I do a transcript for my videos. And if I got the time over, I will probably also show a bit how I record videos and edit videos on my iOS devices. These videos will be kind of raw with not so much edits, and please bear with me because I'm Swedish and I'm talking English in these videos, so I will probably say something wrong from time to time. Okay, so let's start. My new favorite app for finding news is Nuzzel, and Nuzzel is actually a Twitter client, but only for news, so it shows the links to news and it learns your habits and what you want to read and so on. So Nuzzel is not a real Twitter client, but it's connected to your Twitter stream, so you can add more followers on Twitter or remove followers, people you want to follow on your Twitter account, and Nuzzel changes from what you change on Twitter. And this is how Nuzzel looks. I've showed it before in another video, but I will show it again now in this new podcast series. Up here we can choose which time span we want to see the news from. At the moment it shows 8 hours, but you can choose for example 24 hours instead. Then Nuzzel will show us the news from the latest 24 hours that Nuzzel thinks that I want to read, and it also depends on how many retweets and likes and so on this news has. At the top you can see larger images from the news that you can read about below, and you can scroll this stream down and see the latest news from the 24 hours in this example, and you can also see how many likes it has and so on, and it supports the new share sheet and extensions, so you can click on that and share to any app you want that you have installed. And it also supports the more advanced extensions, so you can, for example, use clips and an awesome screenshot and so on. I think this is pretty nifty, and if you want to read something here, you just click on that news and it opens in a built-in web browser. But up at the top here you can click on the text and it formats the article with easy reading text. That's pretty nifty. So usually I find the news I want to do videos about in Nuzzel, and then I often choose the share sheet and add it to Pocket like that, because I usually go through the whole stream with news and add all interesting stuff to Pocket so I can easily find them later on and read about them in Pocket. Another app that I'm recently started using more is the latest version of Flipboard. And the reason why I started using Flipboard now is because it supports following topics, and you can also follow users, people. And I'm starting using Flipboard to create my own magazine, so I'm a magazine editor now, and it's quite fun because I get a few followers on my magazines, And I think that's a brilliant feature from Flipboard, really, because it really feels like a social network now, Flipboard, because you can follow people and you can comment on your flipped articles in your magazines and so on, and you can have real discussions in Flipboard itself. So I really like that. So let's start Flipboard so we can see how it looks. This is how Flipboard looks, and we can go back to the start of Flipboard, and it updates automatically with some news, and you can start flip it and see all your different categories and so on here. But I usually use cover stories to find my news. But before I go into that, I will show you my Flipboard profile. As you can see down here, I click on that, and here is all my magazines that I've created, and here is my followers, 87 followers since I started using it, and I have 9 magazines and 726 articles in my magazine, so I use it a lot. And here's what I follow, and here is the notifications. And here you can see a discussion that I can click on reply and discuss with those people that comments on my posts. So that's pretty nifty. But let's go into cover stories and see how I find news. And this is how Flipboard looks now. For me, this is a personalized magazine for me, with the topics I like and what I want to read. As you can see up here, you see the topic Google, you see Skype, you see reviews and so on. These are not topics that I follow, but I can click on that to follow the topic very easily. But you can go through your stream like this, and down here you see how many articles is left in the cover stories category. So I can just flip through this, as you can see, and if I want to share this article, I can just long click on it, and the share sheet menu opens, and it doesn't look like Apple's own share sheet yet, because you need to, if you don't want to use only this, you can click on this to go to Apple's share menu and choose whatever you want here, and advanced extensions and so on. But I usually just long click on this and add it to Pocket, as you can see there. This is how I find my news, and if you go to one of these pages and this panel shows up, here you can add more topics that you are interested of, and Flipboard will show you more posts from these topics, as you can see here. That's pretty nifty. So that's Flipboard and how I use it to find news. And as I've already said now, I use Pocket a lot, so all my collected news is in the Pocket app. So we click on Pocket and Pocket opens. You can do settings in Pocket to have Pocket download your articles immediately in the background, so you have it ready when you open Pocket, or you can set it to download when you start Pocket. So it's a choice you can do, but I have it so they download in the background, so I have it ready when I open Pocket. So from here I can choose which articles I want to read, and let's say for example that I choose this, and I have read it and I like it a lot, then I usually star them like that. So when I'm starred the article, I can find them in the favorites category in Pocket. So here is all the articles I find interesting to make videos and blog posts about. When I want to blog or do videos, I go into my favorites and start working with them. Making a transcript for a video, for example, or choosing a quote from one of these articles to blog about, for example. So this is how I use Pocket. I think Pocket is a really good app. It syncs perfectly fine with my iPhone, and if I had used Mac too, it perfectly syncs with Mac too, and it syncs with Android devices too, so I like that with Pocket. So that was the apps I usually use for finding news. I have one more app for news, and that is the Twitter app, and the default Twitter app, the original Twitter app, because you have a Discover tab in the Twitter app that I think it's good because it learns what I want to read and try to find the best articles from my Twitter stream and so on. I like that too, but Nuzzel, that I started to use recently, have replaced this Discover tab for me in Twitter, because I don't need that anymore, because I have Nuzzel now. Nuzzel is so much better to me because I can choose these different time zones, if you prefer. I can, for example, take the last hour and see the latest news from my Twitter stream from the last hour that Nuzzel thinks I want to read. I think that's nice. But let's say that I have decided to do a video now, and then I want to create a transcript so I know what I will talk about. Then I use my favorite note-taking app, Drafts, as you can see down here, Drafts. And this is an awesome note-taking app. You can do really advanced stuff in this. You can, for example, write stuff in here, of course, and then you can share to a lot of different services, and you can create your own workflows here. You can, for example, do a daily link blog, save it to Dropbox. You can do a journal and live blogging and so on. You can create these workflows yourself. So, for example, if I want to see how I created this, I can edit that workflow. And as you can see here, you can see how I've created this workflow. It creates append and prepend files to Dropbox. And here is how the note will be formatted with a daily date and so on. The extension will be MD, that is Markdown formatting, and that is the path to my Dropbox account. And here is how the content will be formatted. As you can see, the date and so on with a Markdown header, and below that the text you write in your note. So Drafts is very powerful. You can do a lot with this. You can create your own stuff with JavaScript and Draft's own markup language and so on. You can do bookmarklet kind of things and so on. So this is very powerful. So I use Drafts to create, for example, my transcript for my videos. And for this video, for example, I have created this transcript. As you can see here, this is what I will talk about in this video. And we are about down there in the transcript. And the best thing with doing a transcript in Drafts is that you have a feature that you can activate down here. If I click on that button, I can drag and drop these lines how I want them. So I can reorganize the transcript after how I did the recording of the video, for example. So this is very powerful. I can drag and drop exactly how I want. So drafts is very powerful for a lot of stuff. You have all your notes here. In the inbox is the notes that you are working on at the moment. You have the archive, you can archive all your notes, and you have flagged that you use a lot, for example, and you have the all tab. So that's how I do a transcript. But why do I do a transcript then? Well, a transcript is needed when you do for example, a larger video like this, a longer video, because you need to specify what you want to talk about, so you know what you will talk about and in which order you talk about it. So I think a transcript is very useful to have when you do a video. And the last thing I will talk about is how I create videos, how I record videos on my iOS devices. I usually use my iPhone 6, as I use in this video, for example. And I use iMovie to record my clips directly in. So when I recorded my iMovie clips, I can airdrop the complete project to my iPad from my iPhone. So iMovie supports airdrop, so the complete project with all the video clips in it transfer to my iPad wireless and very fast. So then I edit the videos in iMovie on my iPad. And the reason why I must have the iPad for video editing is that iMovie is more advanced and show more stuff than it is on the iPhone. So iMovie on the iPhone is not the same thing as it is on the iPad. But sometimes I also use my iPad for recording videos. For example, if I want to show you something on my iPhone, an app that is not available on the iPad, for example, so then I use my iPad to record my iPhone. And the iPad Air 2 is so easy to hold now. It's very light and thin, so it works quite good really. But this is how iMovie looks when you start an empty project. You have to click on that button and choose film or trailer, and I usually only use film. You can choose different themes here. I just click create, and this is an empty iMovie project now. So to record something I need to click on the camera icon, and now of course the camera lens is covered so you don't see anything, but we can record a short clip to show you how it looks like that, and then I click stop. Down here you see retake or use video, and I use that a lot because as I said, I'm Swedish. I'm not talking English as my native language, so I have to do a retake very often in my videos to get it right. But this time we pretend that this video is good, so I click on use. Then it comes into the timeline in iMovie, and of course this video is black now, so not a good example, but we can add maybe some more videos here to let you see how it looks. I don't have any videos at the moment. Yeah, we have that. We can add that. This is how a video looks. This video doesn't have any audio, as you can see, but the first video has some audio because I talked about this when I did this. So we can go into add some volume to that audio. So you see the waveform here. This waveform you can't see on the iPhone version of iMovie, and that's bad. So this is what I use to edit videos. I can, for example, cut the video there and take away that silent part like that. So this is what I use to work with video, and you can do a really advanced stuff in this. You can add titles and so on. For example, that title and so on. So this is very advanced. I like iMovie a lot. So let's see that title. There. You can add a lot more stuff. You can do video in video, for example. I can drop this video here above that video, so I can do for example that. As you can see now, I have one video here and one video there, and I can of course drag this where I want it. I can set it there, and I can zoom it. I can zoom the video. I can make this video exactly how I want it, actually. That's really powerful. And I can do a lot more stuff that I won't show you today. But iMovie is what I use on my iPhone and iPad to create all my videos. So that was what I had in this first episode of my new video show. I don't know yet what I will call it, but probably svartlingcast, because it's more like a podcast than a video show really. So I hope that you like this new kind of video I do, because if you do, I will do more of them. But please note that this is more like a podcast than a video. That's why I have done it like I have done this episode. Okay, please like the video. Bye.